Hey, it's Gina, Tarot and Time in Kent, Connecticut, here to give you a tarot and astrology reading for the week ahead of November 22nd. So, how was your full moon weekend? We had our Taurus full moon this past weekend, and we had a lunar eclipse, so it was pretty exciting. So, Taurus being an earth sign, it's a Venus sign, and it has to do with our values, our structure of our life, and it has a lot to do with money. But it's also a Venus sign, so it's all about our self-care and how much we love ourselves and how that expresses into our relationships. So we had that theme, and then we had the lunar eclipse, partial lunar eclipse, and a lunar eclipse is said to take something from you. So we were talking about volunteering something to be taken from you, especially when it has to do with your self-value, or it could have something to do financially with how you make money or how you want to change in that. So now we have officially left Scorpio season. Kind of sad to see it go, but we're entering Sagittarius. So the sun entered Sagittarius today, Sunday, the 21st. And about 9:34 tonight, it will move into Sagittarius. So I love Sagittarius, probably because I am a Sagittarius. It's ruled by the planet Jupiter, planet of luck, blessings, and expansion. And we've talked about Sagittarius before. Yes, it's the archer, but it's also the arrow being shot forward. So it likes to question everything. Why are we here? What is the bigger picture? How did we get here? Because in astrology, it's the 9th house that rules the house of spirituality, the bigger picture, the house of expansion and higher learning, and also foreign travel, which is really exciting. So this week we'll have Mercury, the planet of communication, joining the sun in Sagittarius. That'll happen on Wednesday. So there will be a lot of conversation about the bigger picture. And it's kind of an exciting time because we went through all this Scorpio, all these changes, all this Pluto theme. And now it's kind of like a little bit lighter, moving ahead, a little more exciting. Hopefully we can get out into the world and do more now. So, a few things we want to talk about. We're not done with Pluto yet. Pluto is going to Venus is making its way towards Pluto. Venus moves faster than Pluto. Pluto's a real slow-moving planet. So about Wednesday, Venus is going to come along in the sign of Capricorn and start getting close to Pluto. And at some point, it's going to move across it. So there's going to be transformation because Pluto doesn't show up without transforming something. It loves to burn things to carbon. And there's Venus, our love, our self-love, all those beautiful things in our life, and how we nurture ourselves. And so that needs to change. In the sign of Capricorn, which has to do with the structure of our life, which has to do with our careers. I like to think of it as the spine of our life. So how can we love ourselves more? How can we transform that in our relationships? How can we both, if we're in partnerships with others, how can we be more supportive of each other and ourselves in these relationships so that things run smoother? So we want to use the wisdom to transform relationships for the better. So let's not get too nervous about Venus and Pluto together because sometimes it's like, oh boy, what's going to happen with our relationships? Let's accept the wisdom. Capricorn is a very wise sign. And let's allow that to enhance our relationships, to make them better so we can function better in them and we can love ourselves more as we're working with others. Okay. So we have a couple squares going on. We have Uranus, the lightning bolt of change, the lightning bolt of insight, square Saturn, which rules Capricorn. So that change, that structure of our life. So Uranus wants to bring change into the structure. We've already got Venus in the sign of Capricorn that wants to change the structure of how we take care of ourselves in these relationships. So let's use this change, this lightning bolt, Uranus, genius, forward, insight, brilliance, to change the structure of our life in a positive way. Let's use that for positivity, because Uranus can get rebellious. It can fight the power. It can want to break down structures, governments, all that kind of stuff. Let's do it, use it properly. We also have Jupiter making some squares. It starts off the week squaring the sun and squaring Mercury. So we want to, Jupiter likes to expand things. Yes, it brings luck and blessings, but it likes to expand. So we want to be careful about overindulging the sun, right? It's like this bright light, wants to have fun. It rules the sign Leo, which is the house of fun. So you have to be careful, especially in the beginning of the week, not to overdo it, to overeat, to overdrink, all those kind of things. And then with Mercury, our expression, let's not over express. Then a little bit later in the week, Jupiter goes square with Mars, how we take action. So Jupiter can be a little overly optimistic. It rules Sagittarius. And Mars can get a little harsh. It wants to get things done. It's fiery. It's associated with Aries, the god of war. So let's not let our egos get too big. Let's slow down. I think Sheila Haidt put out a post, said something about like, this is not the time to drive 90 miles an hour. This is a time to slow down. Now, Neptune is making some trines, actually. Beginning of the week, it's trine the sun. Then it's going to be trine Mercury. So trine is a positive aspect. And then it's going to be trine Mars. So this is a great time for self-care, for slowing down, for self-love, creating your art, creating beauty. Or maybe there's a big change in art. Maybe there's a change in your artistic expression because Pluto and Venus are going to be so close together. So yes, more rest, more love, more kindness, more creativity, little less ego, and allowing positive change, envisioning that positive change. Think about what you asked that lunar eclipse to take out, right? And how much you are valuing yourself. And I'm here drinking my Taurus full moon water. If you don't know about moon water, there's a video on YouTube. And so drinking it, taking in that beautiful Venus energy, savoring it, taking it slow this week. Sip your water, enjoy it. And so let's see, we start off the week. The moon will be in Cancer on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday until about 11 a.m. So we know that water signs love rest and relaxation. We know that Cancer rules the home, the mother, the nourishing energy. Great time to just to be home, to enjoy it. But the sun's moved into Sagittarius, so maybe it's a great time to plan some trips of different homes that you're going to stay in, or different hotel rooms, or different ways that you're going to nourish yourself. Then the moon will enter Leo. So by Wednesday, we're going to have the sun in the fiery sign of Sag and the moon in the fiery sign of Leo. We already know there's some advice to watch out for the ego, right? So we got to be really careful with all this fire because it can get feisty. And we're moving into Thanksgiving on Thursday the 25th. So I would say plan some good movies to watch with your family. Leo loves entertainment. Let's not get heavy on the drama. With Jupiter, it can expand the drama, so we don't want that. Be careful, you're gonna eat. Yes, you're gonna eat, but let's not be crazy. Let's make sure maybe you have some enzymes nearby with Jupiter trying to expand everything. And by Friday the 26th at night, on Friday about 9 o'clock, we have the moon moving into Virgo. So it's a great time to start getting things in order, start thinking about our health. Maybe it's time to make a diet change, knowing we're coming out of a holiday that's all about eating, and then we're moving into the holiday season in December. So maybe it's time to start making a plan about ways to take care of yourself better, get out there walking, And Virgo wants you to get organized, and it's ruled by Mercury, so there's a lot of information coming in. So I would say get things together, and it's still an active sign. I like to think of Virgo as like rearranging things. So maybe after your holiday gathering, you start taking some time to really put things in order. Maybe your Christmas tree is going up, so maybe you're rearranging. It's a good time for that. Virgo loves compartments, apartments, systems of order, storage, all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's enough for now with the astrology part. There's so much more, but I want to jump into the cards. So I picked some beautiful cards from the Muse Tarot. Let's see here. This is a really beautiful deck. We have this in stock. And so I picked this 9 of materials just because I absolutely love all those black and white dots and all the roses, but also because we're coming out of that full Taurus moon. So 9 of materials, 9 of pentacles traditionally, 9 of earth, and there's just this expansion there. And so this is pile number 1. Pile number 2, I picked the Queen of Materials. She would be a Queen of Pentacles, Taurus Queen. Isn't she lovely? I love all the roses in this deck. So she's pile number 2, and then we've got this big moon, the moon for pile number 3. And unfortunately, I didn't get to see the lunar eclipse, but I did hear that it had a lot of pink and red tones, so I thought that this was really lined up with that. So go ahead, pick your pile. Let's get started. Pile number 1. All right, this beautiful 9 of Pentacles, lovely. You know, I think of 9 as the highest point in the minor arcanas, even though it does go to 10, but 10, you know, in numerology becomes a 1, so there's this switch over, right? So 9 of materials, full of good stuff, full of roses, full of joy. She's really, really expressing joy there. Okay, so let's see what you need to know this week ahead. This Sagittarius week ahead. We've had a lot of transformations going on while the sun was in Scorpio, ruled by Pluto. And I feel like this is just like the end of the year. Things are getting more intense. We're in this 5-year numerology, a year of change. And it's amping up. So what changes? What more changes need to be made? And as that's happening, then there's this Sagittarius expansion of our lives. What do we want to expand? What did we let go of in that lunar eclipse? We're starting off with the moon. Isn't that an interesting one? This is the Everyday Enchantment deck. And so it's a very interesting, she kind of looks like she's a zombie. Right? She's got owls all over her. And she almost looks like she lives on the streets, which is interesting. So the moon, this very intuitive energy, and we know that we're starting off the week in, the moon will be in the sign of Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. So interesting card to start us off. She almost looks like a ghost. And so, and it's, the moon is a very feminine planet. So it's like this energy of females in your family line maybe that are past, feeling the connection with them. Got the Knight of Cups. This is the animal totem deck. This interesting little creature here, kind of knocking all the cups over and kind of finding his way. Okay, that's coming up in your heart position. You know, I think of the Knight of Cups as so Neptune. We know Neptune's making a lot of trines, so there's a lot of creativity. But he looks clumsy, like he doesn't really know exactly what he's doing, but he's doing it anyways. Here's the Justice card, ruled by Venus, a Libra card, coming up supporting the heart of the matter here. Scales of Justice. Wow. She's got a scale in one hand, a sword in the other, and her eyes are closed. Okay. come back to that. Let's see what's coming in on the foundation here. The Queen of Cups. Look how beautiful she is. This is the Elemental Wisdom Tarot. So the Queen of Emotion. So there's a lot of water going on with the moon on the top, the heart reflecting the Knight of Cups, who's always searching for something, right? I think of him as such a romantic. And then the bottom here, this Queen of Cups, she's this beautiful mermaid. Her cup is full. She's the Queen of Emotions. So let's keep going. I want to see how this all clicks together. Got the Two of Swords in the background, which kind of reminds me of the Justice card in a way. Her eyes are covered, so she's getting out of that logical mind to, in relationship, trying to figure out which way to go. And Justice is so much like relationships too. It's card number 11, so we would call that a 2 in numerology. So there's some themes here with relationships, but something about the moon, this nurturing energy to yourself. And we know Venus is going to come close to Pluto, so there's a transformation here where you need to choose. It's like this romantic heart, and then you remember your first card was that Nine of Pentacles, that joy and opening. There's the Queen of Swords, kind of looking a lot like the sword being held here with Justice. I really think this has to do with something about the females in your family line and how it's almost like they've had to hold back their power and hold back, but like the energy is still coming through. So there's something here about like you just showing up, like almost like clumsy, but just showing up and almost like in their honor. So if there's women that in your family who have passed that aren't going to be at your Thanksgiving dinner or, you know, at your family table, it's like they're coming through anyways. They're coming through and you need to step up and honor. There's something there that you're bringing some kind of justice into this situation. And it's not through arguing or not through logic. It's just about honoring. There's something about honoring joy and emotions. There's the Four of Swords. It's like the nap card. It's like Three of Swords are up at the top, but one sword's next to her. And she's pausing from like all the old heartache and all the old pains and all the old injustices. The Emperor, Hemlock, which I think is poisonous. And I got an extra card here that I didn't mean to pull, and it's the Ace of Fire, Mullen. This is that beautiful herbal tarot. So the Emperor and then the Ace of Fire. So there's something new there. I just want to look up the Ace of Fire Mullen because I am not too familiar with that plant. It says, ignite the flame of creativity, seek inspiration by the light of a witch's torch. Let desire illuminate courage. Okay, so it says craft magical mullein oil, add spicy essential oils. So we know there's something about spiciness, and there's something about power. Oh, interesting. It says rub a drop of mullein oil behind your ears to hear the voices of your ancestors. Okay, so that's kind of what I was picking up with this moon thing. And there's something there about this women energy that almost wants to be present this week. It almost wants to be at that table. It's almost like there's some injustice done in your family line. And I really do think it was male-based, the Emperor's here. And almost like it almost feels like a poisonous situation where there's like a toxic situation. And you're here to energetically kind of clear this up through joy, not through fighting, through joy, through expression, through honoring, connecting, pausing, remembering, and kind of expressing, like writing. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. Let me pull a few more. I want to pull a couple oracles. Reflection. camouflage, vanity, solidarity. Okay. Reflection, camouflage, vanity, solidarity. There's something about honoring someone. I'm just picking up this woman energy, almost like she had to hide who she was. It's almost like she was always being like under somebody's thumb. I think it's just a toxic relationship. And there's something to be learned from that, from her behavior, from what she gave up. Maybe she was just trying to create the best life for her children. There's some honor that needs to be given to her. Okay, I'm gonna pull a couple more. Anything else that you need to know? The 10 of Swords, the 7 of Wands, and the 9 of Coins, which is the 9 of Pentacles, which is what we started off with in the beginning. Okay, so what I'm getting is 10 of Swords. It's very dramatic, but everything's fine. We know the moon's going to be in Leo on Thanksgiving. Here's the 7 of Wands, very dynamic, fire energy, and the 9 of Coins. Okay, so I'm not saying to bring this up to cause arguments or point fingers or blame. I'm bringing this up so you can stop some behavior that's been going on with your family for a while. And it's kind of like an underlying tone of disrespect towards women. It's kind of just generational. It's learned behavior, and it has to stop now. And you are here to stop it. You are here to show the beauty and value. And if you're a male listening to this, it doesn't mean that you can't do this. You just need to show that it stops with you. And so this is through peaceful behavior. This is through honoring, remembering, and bringing joy and helping that person's soul be set free. It's not about arguing, fighting, blaming, okay? And it can easily turn to that with so much fire energy going on, and you have to use wisdom to choose otherwise. We've got Pluto in Leo in the 5th house. Okay, so Pluto's bringing transformation. Leo, we know the moon's going to be in Leo on Thanksgiving. 5th house, house of fun, house of children, house of joy. Kind of feels like this first card again, that joy. So you're here to bring change to that. And I think it's a female. It could be your mother, it could be your grandmother, it could be your great-grandmother, but it's a female in your line. And she may have even been a Leo or an extreme cat lover, is what I'm getting. But you're here to be the change. So be the change, but in a peaceful, calm, aware way, okay? I'm going to pull a few letters for you. You know, I've been cheating on the letters lately. So let's see what we've got. Maybe we can make some names or something. Let's see what's coming up. I've got the name Rose. I also had a lot of roses. What else do we have here? We've got the word love. Maybe you bring some roses to if you're going to a family member's home on Thanksgiving, maybe you bring some roses, or you bring some gin. That came up too. Okay, and anything else? I've got a lot of teas here. I got 5 teas. Okay, and something about an ex love. Okay, so, and I've got the word you, Y-O-U, something about your ex loving you. Okay, so I'm going to take a picture of this. You can see what words you can make out of this, and have a fabulous week. Pile number 2. Big number 2. And we've got this lovely Queen of Materials, Queen of Pentacles. Isn't she gorgeous? Okay, Taurus Queen coming out of the full Taurus moon. A lot of Venus energy going on this week with Venus moving towards Pluto, changes coming. So this, I want you to envision this as positive changes in your relationship, especially your relationship with work, the structure of your life. So how you can let things change, how you can make time for that bath at the end of the day, how you can make time for more of the things you love, because Capricorn is a structure of your life. Okay, we're starting off with the Hierophant, Cacao, in this beautiful herbal deck. So this is the card of the year for 2021, right? This is about change. This is a Sagittarius card. We're moving into that season. This is the expansion. This is, the Hierophant is usually seen as someone you're kind of bowing to, right? And cacao, it's a traditional, there's ceremonies related to this. So there's something, and we're going into tradition in the U.S. with Thanksgiving. So there's some kind of ceremony being brought there. So let's see what else we've got. But there's also 5, so it's a change. So maybe it's going to be done differently this year. Here's the Ace of Wands. This is a cool one because it's a blank canvas. So maybe there's something new. Maybe you're starting a new tradition. It's also very creative energy, and we were talking about Neptune making a lot of aspects, especially trining Mars, so taking action with your art. There's definitely, your heart wants that. Okay, supporting your heart, we have the Strength card, and it's garlic. Look how, that looks good. So it's spicy, and it's strong, and it's beautiful. It's being paired with honey here, which is an interesting mix. So, yeah, it's like we've got chocolate and art and interesting foods and okay, and the Queen of Materials. She has so much materials available to her. Let's see what's going on in the foundation. You have the Devil card. Do we have more than one card here? No. The Devil. Wow, she's radiant. Okay, well, we're going into Leo, the moon being in Leo on Thanksgiving. And very fiery. So red may be a great color if you can handle it, if you're not going to let your ego get the best of you. Now she's up there and she is a powerhouse. And it's interesting how these skeletons look, they look a little bit bored. And so the Devil, you know, it rules, it has to do with guilt, it has to do with shame, it has to do with old structures, because it's Capricorn again. So it's ruled by Saturn, right? And we know that Saturn is making this square with Uranus. So it's time for some change, positive change. We don't want to start any wars here because we've got Strength, which is garlic, which is strong and spicy, being paired with sweet honey. You've got this Ace of Wands that's dynamic. You've got this Hierophant, cacao, this very strong flavor. So there's a lot of overbearing energy here. It can be fabulous, but it doesn't, you don't want it to go into like that ego state that we were talking about. So it's time for the structure to change, and it already seemed like there may be some new traditions happening, more joy, less of this old stuff that doesn't work. This is on your foundation. Okay. Let's see what we've got in the background. We've got the 3 of Pentacles, this giraffe who's like most vulnerable in his neck, and he's reaching out. So there's some vulnerability going on there. We've got the Hermit in the background. Look at this one. I love this Hermit. This is the Everyday Enchantment Tarot. And so really taking the time to step away, to read. So if you are spending a lot of time with family, make sure that you can step away. Get back to recharge for you, because it's going to be intense and you may feel vulnerable. So you need that time. It's for your health, right? The Hermit's Virgo. It's your health. We're also going to go into a Virgo weekend. So you may want to take time to recover from what's been going on all this week. The World. So it's definitely success. This is also a Saturn card. So allowing that change, allowing that Uranus energy to change things up for the positive. There's a lot of joy there. But there's also like an end of a story. So this may be the end of some of your traditions. Maybe they're going to change next year. And the moon. Coming up in your future position, you've got 2 major arcanas. So you actually got a lot of major arcanas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is an intense week for you. You need to trust the feelings that are coming in. The moon is extremely intuitive. She's sitting there in her power, allowing the information to come in and knowing that it will pass. And the moon, you know, I think of it so as like motherly energy. So there's this, you've done a good job. You've done this. You're doing it well. And something's changing. The structure's changing. And it's almost like you've grown bored of it. Like it's time. It's going to be more, something more dynamic is coming in. So if you don't know what that is, that's okay. Just enjoy this. Enjoy the ceremony. And enjoy the extremes, because there's a lot of extremes. Extreme beauty, but you need to step away and get some rest. And you're kind of bored of the old, everybody's dysfunction. You know, you get a bunch of people together and you've got everybody's dysfunction in the room, and you're kind of bored of it. So don't get into it. It's not a good week to get into it. Lay back, go step away, read, rest, recharge, and allow it to be a beautiful celebration. Okay, let's see what we've got for oracles. We've got delusion, martyrdom, hospitality, and rite of passage. Okay, delusion, right? We were talking about like overeating, over drinking. So Neptune, this feels very Neptune. A little delusional, but it can be very romantic, can be very beautiful. I keep saying it's a great Thanksgiving to watch some movies, right? Have the drama from that. We had martyrdom, which is so Virgo, service. The fine line between service, nurturing, being the host, being all that, and then just feeling used. So finding the line. Hospitality. Yep. And rite of passage. It's interesting. Almost like a marriage going on. Okay. So, somebody getting married? Is somebody in your family getting married? Are you somehow involved in the planning of that? Let me just pick 2 more cards. 2 of Wands, 5 of Cups, and 3 of Coins, which you had the 3 of Pentacles up here with the giraffe. So 2 of Wands, relationship, she's holding the world. Thinking about the bigger picture, the 5 of Cups is a little bit of sadness. And the 3 of Coins, it's like an announcement. Wonder if somebody's going to announce their engagement on Thanksgiving. Interesting. Well, have some champagne ready, because it looks like you might be toasting something. Okay, let me roll some dice. And if you don't agree with the engagement, you're going to have to, you may have to set that aside. You do not want to go into confrontation. We've got Mars in Aries, which it rules in the 4th house. Yeah, so Mars, that dynamic action. We know Mars is making a square to Jupiter. So Mars can be rash. Jupiter can be overly optimistic and sometimes a little delusional. So this may be going on in your home where you see that and you don't want war. So step back, retreat, take some time. It seems that things will change, so give it some time. Okay, letters. Let's see. Letters, yes. I've been denying you letters the last few weeks, so let's get some. see what we have. I see X's and Z's and all right. I've got the word wait, W-A-I-T. I have the word waiter. Is waiter spelled with an E-R or an O-R? Well, I have E-R here. Okay, I have what do I have? I have the word page. I have the word, do I have clean? No, I don't have an N. I have the word clear. Clear. Waiter, page. Oh, I hope you get to go out to eat. Maybe you don't have to cook. The word mix, the word him, and a Z. Okay, well, I'm going to take a picture of this. You can see what words you can make out of it. Have a great week. Pile number 3. Got this beautiful moon. We're starting off with the moon itself in the sign of Cancer. So we want to take it slow. Maybe we're home, just cleaning our house, getting things together for the holiday, taking some nice gentle time to savor our homes, enjoying it the way it is. I know we always want it to be better than it is, but enjoying it the way it is. Okay, we're starting off the week. This is called the I cannot say this, curandera of earth, sweetgrass. I love this deck, but it gets a little bit confusing when they change the names. So let's see, curandera, which seems that it is the queen. Is it the queen? No, it's the king. Okay, it's the king of earth. It's the king of pentacles. And he's braiding this sweetgrass. So I'm just going to read you a little bit. It says, the living earth is our greatest teacher. Braid together love, health, and wealth, and give it away. Like, let a holy fragrance bring you home. Yeah, because I know you can burn sweetgrass. So it says, grow sweetgrass, share joy and abundance, host a party, eat good food, braid sweetgrass with friends, bless a home or gathering place by burning dried sweetgrass. So that's interesting that that's coming up for this Thanksgiving week. So maybe if you're hosting, that's a good thing to burn before people come. Or maybe it's a good gift to give to a host. But it's the King of Pentacles, so it's the structure, right? It's the earth energy. It's back to Saturn, and there's that square with Uranus, so there's that rebellion against structures. But the sweetgrass feels like it's bringing peace into the situation. Okay, the heart of the matter, you have judgment. So this is very Pluto card, judgment. Beautiful angel. So it's card number 20. So it's a 2. It's in relationship. Some things that need to change. Some things, or maybe you've lost some loved ones this year that just aren't going to be there at this. Maybe you're honoring them this holiday season. Okay, supporting your heart. I've got the 6 of Wands. This card of success. There's like a ribbon of an award. I feel like there's the memory of someone who's not with you. Your foundation is the Page of Blades. So this is the Page of Swords. And he's like so excited of his discovery of nature. So that's coming in on the foundation, this kid. And so hopefully there's some kids in your family that can bring some of that like energy into the situation. Behind the scenes, you've got the 3 of Wands, such a travel card. Her chariot's coming to pick her up. Maybe you're traveling this holiday season. We've got the 7 of Cups. So many options, so much to see, but that is the High Priestess there, and she is kind of covered. So almost like hiding her power. But I'm kind of feeling it more as like the energy, especially with the moon, which is very feminine. It's like the energy of a female family member that isn't in physical form anymore. And that person being acknowledged and, yeah, being acknowledged. It's the Hermit. The wisdom of the Hermit. It's Virgo. We're going to be in a Virgo weekend. And looks like he's like puttering around his house. And so there's definitely, like, you're going to need some downtime this weekend. The Hermit really wants you to savor your truth, your health, your alone time. You're going to need it. And the Star. So you got two major arcanas coming up in your future position, which is fabulous. She's kind of pouring out what doesn't serve her anymore. And this is Uranus energy. So back to the Uranus square Saturn, you're starting off with the King of Pentacles. It's ruled by Saturn. And so you want to use that energy correctly for positive change, right? Okay, I want to pull a few more because I feel like there's something else. What else do you need to know this week ahead? You've got the Ten of Wands. Page of Swords again over the Page of Swords. Ten of Swords. Okay, I want you to be really careful with your words because the Page of Swords, he's young. He doesn't always know how to use his enthusiasm or his communication. He doesn't really know how to use his sword. And you've got the Ten of Swords, which is overwhelmment with those swords. And Mercury's going to move into Sagittarius. So the day before Thanksgiving, on Wednesday, we have Mercury entering Sag in the morning. So I'm a Sag, and sometimes we just say stupid things. Sometimes we don't think. We're just excited. We mean well, or we can be sarcastic. And so we have to be really careful with your words, especially if you're gathering with family, okay? So you don't want it to come to this overwhelmment. So take this as a warning. And the Ten of Wands also showed up, carrying a heavy burden. So a 10 wants to change into a 1, right? It wants to lighten up. So let's see how we can get you some advice for lightening up. Because I kind of feel like you're traveling for the holidays, or maybe people are traveling to come to you. But you don't want to hide your power, but you also don't want to like fight the power in a way and cause destruction, because the Star comes in after the Tower. You don't want that kind of energy. You want to savor the moment, maybe do something out of respect for those who are not with you this year, and opt for teamwork together and not an argument. We've got the Five of Wands, and it's beautiful cooperation. But when it gets out of hand, it can be a fight. Here's the Wheel of Fortune, another 10. So you have like 3 10s across the board here. This is Jupiter. This is expansion, right? So, you know, it's Thanksgiving. We got to be careful of overeating and all that, but we don't want to get our ego too big. Let's try to stay simple in the child's mind, the childlike mind. Okay, I just want to pull a couple more. The Devil, Ace of Swords. An interesting Ace of Swords coming up next to the Ten of Swords. Okay, keep it simple. Choose your words wisely. Don't take on the beast. Don't take on all the dysfunction and the big monster issues of your family. This is not, you don't want to get into that because it's going to expand and then it's going to be bigger. Let's keep it simple. Let's walk away when needed to, and keep envisioning life that goes on after this holiday. Okay. I want 2 more. I feel like there's something else. Is there anything else you need to know? The Nine of Pentacles and the Death card. Okay, Nine of Pentacles, it's really beautiful. Savor it, enjoy it, enjoy. If you're having guests at your home, show them around, show them what you've done. Show them the beauty of the things, the positive things, and savor that. And the Death card is coming up. I love this version because he looks so bored. He's so bored of his day job. So let's not get into the big issues because it's not gonna feel good. It's not gonna go well, and it's not the right time. Doesn't mean those things don't need to be talked about, just not now. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna give you a couple oracle cards. Panache. Innocence. Brazenness. Over there that got placed on top of the Death card. Oh, we got two more that want to come out. Oracle and Spirit. Okay, so panache, dress up, enjoy, savor the beauty of everything going on. Innocence, if there's some children around, focus on that. Oracle, kind of taking this advice, like, hey, watch out, be careful, don't fight. Brazenness came in. It's like, yeah, it's entertaining, but watch a movie instead. And Spirit, there's energy here of someone that passed. I think it's a female. It could be a very kind grandfather energy also. Could be very heartfelt, but they're here. So if you have to concentrate on them, acknowledge them, do something special, make a dish in their honor, say something honoring them. Keep the attention there and on the children, but not on like the dysfunctional stuff and the arguments, because you're not going to win. Maybe next holiday, but not this one. All right, let's roll some dice. You've got the moon in Sagittarius in the second house. Okay, the moon, which was your top card, the moon, right? This intuitive, feminine, nurturing, loving, it rules the home energy in Sagittarius. So maybe that's why I keep thinking you're going somewhere, or there's some traveling involved. So maybe the people are traveling to you, but you're traveling to them. Kind of getting more the impression that they're traveling to you. Second house, the house of value. It's Taurus's house. It's a Venus house. It's a house of money. It's the house of your self-value, your self-worth. And so don't get into arguments about money. Please don't. Okay, I'm going to pull a few letters because I kind of gypped you the last couple of weeks on the letters. Let's see what we got. I've got a Z in here, and a G, and a blank one. I just like those. I have the name Larry. I also have the name Gary. Let's see. I have the word. I've got a lot of N's. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 N's. A VW. And my blank one, which I gotta decide what to do with. I've got 2 Z's, so we'll just count that as taking a nap. I've got the word one, W-O-N, one. And this blank one I could use, I think I'm going to make the word deed, D-E-E-D. And, all right, I'm going to let you see what you want to do with this. And have a fabulous week.